Here's Gentler now, left wing side. He'll bring it in, but offside, and we have a fight at center ice, and it's the captain, Sean Gibbons, going against Mason Lupo. Gibbons gets a right, second, a third right, another right by Gibbons, and he'll wrestle him down. The captain setting the tone, and we have another fight as well. Boulanger going after McCaffrey and bouncing his head off the ice. McCaffrey kept his gloves on. Boulanger may have just ended his afternoon for that act.
Around 2 Rhinos, now 3 Rhinos, and he's going to get a cross-checking penalty, and now taken down. Capello's going to get involved with it, and Capello wants to go. Gloves are off. Here we go in the corner. Capello with a right hand, and now another right hand exchanged, and Anthony Capello throwing bombs with the right hand. Another right hand. Big heavyweight tilt going on here, Frank. And they are wrestled to the ice. Right. That's a heavyweight battle right there. Anthony Capello, 6'4".
Fans enjoy it.
They love the Big Apple.
Yep. Fans enjoy the Big Apple.
11:40 to go in regulation time. Lachlan Hager's going to drop the gloves against Andrew Piccirillo, the first fight of the season. So Hager and Piccirillo, center stage. Lachlan Hager, a heavy right-handed shot. Piccirillo winding around. Now Hager starting to feed Piccirillo. Hager knocks Piccirillo down to a knee. He gets back up. Hager with a body shot. The two of them still spinning around. Hager's lost his helmet. Piccirillo still trying to come over the top. It's hard to do against Lachlan Hager. Piccirillo ends up down on the ice, and Lachlan Hager has his first win of the season. Dwyer. Meanwhile, Scogan Strott behind the net. Gives on back Jones. D to D, Jarrell. Jarrell shot deflected on goal by Zharkov. Meanwhile, in the corner, Scogan Strott has an aviator on top of them. I'm not sure what was going on there. I can't get the number of the aviator player. Meanwhile, Zharkov just got sucker punched by an aviator player. That's Max McGuire. Zharkov gets the takedown. Max McGuire, the 6'4", 200-pound forward on the fourth line, takes a cheap shot at Arseny Zharkov. Zharkov shakes it off and then takes McGuire down to the ice. McGuire with his legs wrapped around Zharkov like it's a UFC fight.
Williams trying to start something here, and here we go. Runko's going to drop the gloves, and he'll throw a couple rights immediately. Williams back with a couple of more. Runko trying to switch. Williams with the glove on still, trying to send him back. Runko will take him down, and he gives a couple more uppercuts on Williams. Williams wanted to start something, and Runko said no, and then Runko kind of went at him.
In a one-goal game, I don't think Dooling's going to drop the mitts just quite yet. Oh, and now what? Maybe I lied.
Well,
broadcaster jinx, Dooling and Johnson.
Oh, Dooling.
Oh, and down he goes, Johnson. And they're still going. And he goes down again.
Logan Dooling, when called upon, he does his dirt as he chirps the Elmira bench.
Here we go. We're gonna fight. Gregoire and Richmond going at it. Richmond landing a right. Gregoire putting him down to the ground as this one's getting the crowd fired up.
The Jets are going to get a power play. And there's going to be a fight. Look out here. This place, of sellout crowd is loving it. Brody Olson.
Oh, backwards it goes around. Rimple gets shot off on Rimple, and now Nate works it over, off the boards. We got a fight now. Got a fight right out in front of Rimple. Is Alexander throwing a right hand. Now he's taking his jerseys over his head. Another right hand. There's a big right hand. Alexander throwing some bombs, looking for left hand leverage. Now getting a left hand in. Big right hand over the top, and he'll take his man down. Alexander winning that fight over Cole Frauner. And Alexander and Frauner.
That was taken away. Now he ties up in the corner. Masiewskis and Obrochta out there as well with him. A little bit of pushing and shoving behind the play, and Grinnell just jumped the general defenseman back behind the play. And that was Cole McKenna, and so Watertown, I think, is going to wind up going on the kill here. That was Grinnell just getting a little bit too hot, and Watertown, I think, is going to head back to the kill, I'd have to imagine.
Today, I'm going to hope I don't miss anybody, but oh, we've got a tilt lined up as the Mallard involved here and getting a couple of swings in is Paul Spino. Spino ends up on top of Brady Borgstead, and Borgstead, the former Mallard, mucking it up with his old squad.
If it were up to me, it would be wooden hockey sticks, blades that don't come apart on the skates. I think it would make life a lot easier. Here comes Spencer. And we've got a fight here in the Philly zone. It's Edlund and Kaiser. And Kaiser getting some good rights in. Now Edlund trying to get an arm free. And he's driving the side of the helmet of Kaiser. Meanwhile, the officials are jumping in.
They are. Christian and Nichols square up. Christian stuck Nichols once. Now he gets on his back and is punching him in the back of the head. Not often you see Davin Nichols.
The right side, Smith walks, waits, fires, deflected, save made by Morans on the backhand, and now again Ziski. It's an undisciplined penalty there. So Ziski's going to go to the box, and it'll be a 5-on-3. You can't be committing those penalties here.
Lukalu at the blue line on the backhand. Clevby with a cannon of a shot, and it's saved by Gatto. Oh, Peters now in front trying to take out Henry Butte. They'll drop the gloves, and Butte will rip him down. Oh, Peters just came over. He threw off a glove. He did not like Butte's extra chop there.
Owen Dawson, and that allows Minot to come back down the other way in front of the goaltender Gutteridge. He draws a whistle. Nice struggle to see how Owen Dawson, who had Wilcox in a headlock, didn't draw or take a penalty there, and now we'll see if anything comes out of this scrum along the end boards right now with 1:08 to play in this second period. Well, and this is kind of what happens here when you don't. Obrochta is throwing a couple of left-handers, and we've got a little bit of a fight going right now between Obrochta, and it's hard to even tell who it is for Minot. Now finally they're going to let him go. It's Zugach who's dropped the gloves for the Taros, and those two fought for so long around the officials that I think by the time the refs finally said, yeah, whatever, go at it, they were both exhausted.
Chance still in the zone, now goes around. Chance right circle, trying to pass in front, and we've got a fight. Oh, man, it's Luger and Wolf Talby. Here we go. Both guys waiting. Now Luger grabs both Bain. Then a couple of right-hand punches from Wolf Talby. There's another one. Luger taking a couple of hits. Now Luger, a right hand. Wolf Talby, a couple of uppercuts, and now a couple of lefts. Oh man, Wolf Talby, now Luger tees off. There's a couple of big ones. Oh, another one. Oh my goodness, they're both going at it. Here we go, and then finally Wolf Wolf Talby tackles Luger. Wow, what a kill there. Jack McClellan dumps it into Dominic Kish behind the net. Dominic, a penalty coming up here on Shreveport, I think. Oh, and we've got a fight. Well, we might. Reed, whoa, Reed just took down and now he's going at it. We've got fights everywhere. Holy cow. John Kelly in the mix with one. There's another one on the other side, and things have just absolutely lost their marbles. With the puck to the blue line, kept in by Tremblay, didn't know where the puck was. At the skates of Boric, Gagno evading several players, and Tremblay just lowering punches into Owinski. Oh my goodness. And Tremblay still going at AJ. And now everyone is just grabbing jerseys. Coach Berge just about jumped out onto the ice. Whoa, whoa, hey.
Played ahead into the neutral zone. On to Diaz. And a big hit there. Big hit as we get a whistle, and here we go. Here we go. A series of rights by Knutson. Knutson pounding away with the right hand. Knutson levels a Danbury hat trick.
The Brown Bear blue line, centering pass is blocked. They'll hit the left side. There's going to be a fight. It's going to be Carnevale and number 19, Zion. Ziver. In on goal, look out, and a great save, and that wipes out the goal. And why on earth does that get yourself a fight? That is nonsense. One good way to wreck a power play. Two different fights going on.
Two on two, here come the Mudbucks, and Griner again can't hang on to the puck, and a penalty coming up on Luger as Joseph shoved him into the glass. Oh my gosh, and Easton just goes right at Joseph Luger. And Easton dropped his gloves instantly and gave Luger absolutely no chance. And Easton should be gone for the game.
Solominski now a bouncer in onto Kovetsky. He will hold on, and Stroop takes some exception. And I think Watertown might wind up heading right to the kill here with 2:56 to play in the second. Stroop was not happy about that. And now the gloves have been dropped. And here we go in the corner. Peyton Stroop is going at it for Watertown. And now the linesmen are going to jump in and break that up. And now I wonder if Minot just cost themselves a possible power play with 2:56 to play here in the second.
.55 seconds, and Bismarck doubles their lead. That's going to be Evans from Broge, and we'll have to check in. We're going to have a fight at center ice. Swinging is Spino, and he unfortunately missed on the one connection before the officials come in to tie the two up. They still want to go. It's Oshiashvili and Othiashvili. That was a big face-off win. Brudek introduces himself to the Central Division as he throws his weight around to the right side. We're going to have a delayed penalty, however, but now we'll keep going. Here's Brudek. Brudek drops the gloves with a couple of swings and lands a left jab right as he falls on top of his opponents, taking the worst of that exchange. Even score. So there, the risk is worth the reward, because if he gets off to the races there, all of a sudden this game is back to even. There was collision there. They'll go after, and a penalty is going to be called here on Bismarck. And they keep going after Rosenoff. Another cross-check. Revenig is going to hear about it from Bovey, and now Rosenoff gives it to him himself. The stick actually hitting Revenig. That hits the official. There was a collision behind the net, but Rosenoff and the netminder Weigel both brushed themselves off and said, "We're good to go."
Flipped out, look out, Schrott behind the defense. They're going to blow this play dead. And Schrott tried to put the puck into the net, and Griffin came over and took a shot at him.
All melee here.
And look out here, the tempers are running really short.
Oh, yeah.
I think the original penalty should go against Skogan Schrott.
Yeah, we'll see how this is going to shake out. Everybody going at it, except for the goaltenders right now.
Haven't really been any punches thrown.
Nah, just a lot of pushing and shoving, some tackling. And that was a punch thrown there, a couple punches right there.
I'm not sure who that is.
And now we have another fight breaking out.
Matt Hanscom. He threw a couple shots at Morgan. I'm not even sure that he was ready for them. Somebody without a helmet, that is Connor Griffin.
Into the Wolverines' end, Fronner bats one away, charges in front of both benches, and gets hit up high. And now he's going to look to do something about it, grabbing someone, hoping someone will go. And Minnesota's not obliging. Meanwhile, Gensler in front of the bench mixed it up with some of the Wilderness skaters that were off the ice. Both officials have an arm up as some of the Wolverines' disturbers are trying to fire up their team any way possible. Clear. Loose puck at the goal line. Sent out in front. Sachs will cover up. And a little bit of extra pushing and shoving. And Mullins is trying to rip one of the Wilderness off the goal frame. And he was hanging on for dear life.
Mullins wires crossed
of the crossbar.
Pulling helmets off. He got Embriani's helmet too.
Louis out there without a bucket on the melon. Is that a fresh haircut for Louis?
Look at Louis with the fade.
Good.
Louis with the fade.
Louis looking good out there in the stripes.
A shot. He didn't get much on it. Reed now will go ahead and scale it into the near corner. Played around to the far side. Boards held in there. We got a fight. Center ice. It's Opsfelder and Reed right at center ice. Opsfelder and Reed a right hook. And Reed another right hook. Reed with a headlock and down they go. It wasn't much of a fight, more of a stare down before the fight. Kind of like in WWE when they start kind of eyeing each other a bit. Trampled. Trouted by now a shot toward the net. Save made back the other way. Oh, what a right pad save made there by Kittredge. He robbed DeLulio. And now we got a fight. DeLulio one-on-one with his man. A right hook. They both go down. Boy, this one is getting nastier by the second.
He's already got two tonight. Trying to get the hat trick. Chernowski slides one across. And a poke check by Michael away. Amherst will scoop it up. Now a lead passes forward. Some tussling behind the play, but the officials won't let him play on for now. A clean entry for Rochester, and now we have a fight down towards our right. Lindbergh is in the mix of it. The gloves are officially off, and they're tussling. It's Chernowski and Lindbergh, and it looks like Chernowski and Lindbergh just kind of tied themselves up and went down. 17 seconds to go. And that will do it here tonight. So the Johnstown Tomahawks finish out a 7-0 win, and we've got some real tussling here after the whistle, and some frustrations really boiling over. Gloves are off here. Dustin's in the mix along with Sadie. Ralston. You can see Jackson shouting here is on the ice. Is that shouting? I'm not sure. A couple of punches being laid on now. And temper's really boiling over here. That was Sadie who was really ticked off.
Chance right off that center ice face-off, but Shannon did make a good save. Shots 11-9. McGuire from Pals. Pals the pass, and now we got a fight. Looks like it's Lapierre wrapped up with Vinny Ipri. The helmet comes off of Lapierre and Ipri. A rare scene. Ipri's jersey on the ground. Lapierre takes Ipri down. Smith, who stands 6'5", keeps finding the 6'8" Perot. There they are again, two big bodies colliding. They get tied up now, away from the play. Shot from the Generals goes wide. Perot gets the gloves off, and they're going to go. Two heavyweights. Murray Smith and Perot. Perot takes it down. Murray Smith trying to jump in. Murray Smith off his lid. There's a short play for the two big guys. And Perot takes the advantage as he has to sit down. Campbell kicked it back. He'll find it himself. Comes behind the Aviator net. We have a penalty upcoming. Blum and Picarillo came together. And Picarillo wants to go, and they will go. Alejandro Blum and Andrew Picarillo down in the corner. Right hand from Picarillo. Gets the helmet off. Picarillo with the takedown. I'll get the crowd fired up. Picarillo, some good fisticuffs with Alejandro Blum. What we'll have to check out is what the initial penalty was and who.
Keep that into the third period. Some pushing and shoving after the buzzer sounds. See the glass break. See Stone Cold Steve Austin walk out here.
Look at Tarasenko.
Yep. They drop him. Cottingham.
And Tarasenko, he'll probably be done for the night as he shed that glove.
And both teams are free out of the box. And Dillard and Hudson Bjornsson right out of the box go to fisticuffs.
Chase had one man to beat. Oh, sandwich down there was Tremblay. And now Easton comes in with a hit up hard, and now we got a fight. Shot toward the, whoa. Looked like Perugini and Easton are gonna go. They are at center ice. Here we go, a right hook by Easton. Easton, a couple of right hooks, and down they go. It looked like Easton got the better shots. I don't know if Perugini could line one up. Battles for it. Played back to the right point, walking the line. There we got a little bit of a tie-up along that far corner. There's some right hooks going on. Oh boy, Reed trying to get unhinged. He's getting roughed up there by Obsfelder. And now the Mudbugs need help. Wolf Talby's in there. Reed could not get unhinged off, and Obsfelder got some free blows. And Reed thinks it's funny because Obsfelder's the only one who's going in the box.
Normally, you grow up, you're playing on small rinks. There's not going to be a bunch of fans out behind you. And here we go. We're going to have our first scrap as Kwame is feeding Leonard right now with a whole bunch of rice. Wow. And Leonard doesn't want any of it. Kwame has got him in an absolute nightmare zone. And Leonard is saying, why God? Why am I here? He's finally able to get that right arm loose. And now we're having a really good scrap back and forth as Leonard gave Kwame 5 rights, but ends up with his jersey over his head and is back on the ground, staring up at the ceiling. Kwame took some exception to that hit.
He took hit from Lynch. And there it's fired deep, and it ends up behind the Wilderness goal. We're gonna have a few penalties here as we've got tempers flaring with Gian and Manzella. Murray also tangling with Walitsky, and now Manzella and Gian fall to the ice. Homer is in a wrestling match with Nolan. Well, we talked about the possibility of this happening with Steve Dougherty during the intermission.
Gets hit hard, but they work it in. 2:50 to go here in the opening period. We got a fight at center ice. It's Easton and Moscoviten at center ice. They're now towing it up in the middle of the ice. A right hook there by Moscoviten. Now another couple of right hooks there by Easton. And now they just trade blows and down they go.
Bursick turns it for Peruzzi. Long-range shot. Knocked down. The net very much off its moorings. The puck went in. And we may have a real big fracas here. Down against the end wall. Dustin wanted to go with Bursick. Osborne in the heap of it as well. Osborne's helmet off. And Safer continues to go with him. Hughes up to his feet. He is trading hands with Cooper Anderson. And here they go. Hughes lines his man up and slams him down to the ice. Braden Hughes. Dietz slams the brakes and a turnover. Big hit by Murat Meekin. He lined him up. Doucette hit him from behind. And here we go. Meekin will drop the mitts and go with Doucette and take him down to a knee. Both back up. The officials are going to let this one be sorted out by the guys. A cheap shot by Doucette. Meekin takes him down to the ice. Murat Meekin decided to stand up for himself.
Not him taking the hit, it was instead Laurie. Either way, Johnstown fighting to get it out there, and we're going to have a fight. Speaking of fights, we have one right away. Jacob Engstrup being taken down in a quick manner by Logan Devling. And
developing, or the Rediques at the end of a shift, they get it to the goal, and Pachenik gets barreled over by Aslan Zuzbekov, and now we got a fight. Laperriere is going to go with Butte. Pachenik is still down, as is Zuzbekov. The concern is for them as Laperriere and Butte duel out in center ice. There's another scrum down in the corner that the officials breaking up. Laperriere taking the jersey. Pachenik still focused on his back to his knees, trying to get the trainer out while Laperriere and Butte go at it, and Butte will take Laperriere down. But right now, two players in a heap of pain. 2-0 Maine, and they're going to get a fight right off the jump. Greg Johnson and Braden Frank. Johnson goes right after him. Frank with a heavy right. Johnson back to him. This is a good tilt. Johnson trying to get back positioning. Frank tried to throw him down. Johnson with another right. He's got the jersey over top. Down at the blue line, they continue with right hooks. Now they're tied up. We'll see if the officials can get in between. And probably the best fight of the young season with Johnson and Braden Frank, a scheduled bout.
I think that's Albrecht. Oh. No, that is Hickok on the faceoff with Utnitz.
Said, boys, these two have been brewing for a while here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go.
From the faceoff, goes into the corner. Opgren can't get it
There we
past.
go. There we go.
I can't believe that Utnitz going to slug it out. That's too bad. They had to tee up at the right point. I didn't see Utnitz as an aggressive guy at all. He lands a couple of punches there. He's got to reach. Oh, good left scored there by Hickok.
That was brewing since last night.
Sends it cross corner. And a hard hit head first into the boards from Sidorov on Simon Marcinak will draw the first penalty. And now the Bruins throwing some fisticuffs. Ryan Lund going at it. Lund on Sidorov. Sidorov gets a couple shots. Lund goes with the uppercut, goes up top, stumbles backwards, and they'll have to stop it there. Lund lost his balance, and the fans going crazy.
Richmond with a shot gobbled up by the glove of Weigel with 8:50 to play here in the second. And Richmond just got dumped to the ice by Rakowski. Pardon me, that was Henrietto. And that's going to put Watertown on the power play. Shamrocks need to be careful here not to lose this power play opportunity. Richmond, or rather Gavin, has dropped the gloves. And he will go here with Dodig on the near side. Both of them throwing haymakers. Gavin's landed a couple, and so has Dodig. And those two wind up on the ice, and Dodig got the hammer off on Gavin right away and shushes the crowd on his way off the
Racing Luger. Here comes Thornton shorthanded, and he gets taken down by Joseph. And a penalty coming up here on Oklahoma. Oh, here goes Nathan Da Silva. Oh, my, Miller just lighting into Da Silva. Billy Stuskey's in the mix. Billy's throwing some punches. Oh, my gosh, Da Silva's just getting ragdolled, and his head being thrown against the ground. Holy, this is dangerous. From Miller, the captain for Amarillo, and Da Silva, we've got to check on Nathan Da Silva. His head just smashed against the ground. Street, a backhand, loose in the skates, wrap around, they score! It's Perrant! The extra point is good for the second straight night, and we've got a fight on the other end! Holy cow! And now Oklahoma looks to go right at Evstingnev. Petrov shoves Luger, and now here we go. Luger and Petrov, they're still going at it. Oh man, Petrov is off. Oh, and here we go. We've got another one. Luger takes Petrov, and now Shirk wants to go with Mason Wright. John Kelly's going. He throws Shirk to the ground. Mason Wright, letting go. Here we go. Mason, a right hand. Oh, a couple of big booms. Everyone grabbing a man. They're still going at it, Shirk and Wright. And now Kelly's got Smith on the other side. Kish and Donevsky's are in it. There's Luger and Petrov are still going at it. And now Mason Wright gets the crowd into it. Luger is just lighting into Petrov right now. Oh my gosh, things are just exploding. Luger's in the mix, Dominic Kish is in the mix, Jakob Galdor's in the mix. It's a Donnybrook here at the Blazers Ice Center. And now Billy Stuskey's telling Peterson to come on. Peterson's looking. Is he gonna do it? I don't know. Kuratai's going right at one of the Warriors on the ice right now. Peterson wants no action from Billy Stuskey. And now Petrov and Kelly are going at it. Gallnor in the box. Kuratai is wounded. He's going off to the box. And Jack McClellan's in the stands rallying everybody up. As Kish had a stick slashed out of his hands, and we're back to action as Kish goes right at a Wrangler. Oh, we've got another one. Dominic Kish, a big right hand. He takes a couple of punches, then throws one as well. Kish throwing a couple. Oh, wow, and he flips the Wrangler. Dominic Kish going right at Amarillo. This game is unreal. Face off, we're underway again here in the third. Lickness gives a shove. He wants a stick back from Lupo, and we've got another one. Lupo and Lickness. Oh, a couple of big rights. Oh my! Lickness, a couple of huge hooks. And they're both grabbing each other, and down they go. And we're just losing players. Oh, Lupo, an extra punch there after everything's done and said. And Lupo might be done.
Taking Conlon into the near side boards. Puck comes free to Rochester. Long range shot, glove down by Varsa as he will freeze. 7:15 to go. Getting dumped after the play is Keenan Dewberry, and we're starting to get physical as Broxton Ingle with a fight over right in front of the Rochester bench. He gets a couple of punches in as Michael Matheson gets tied up in front of the net. Philadelphia showing some fight and intensity here as Matheson still going at it with Dexter Kickline as Kickline holds him. Now it's Schouten.
Shouting getting a couple of punches in. Brayton Fripp gets taken down to the ice. We'll have another fight here as Marshall Swanson getting a couple of shoves in. Now it's Mikey Conlon.
In the near side corner, James working against a pair of Bulls defenders, Jax and Peruzzi. Trying to shovel this one out, James. A 2-on-1 chance, down to a Anita block, it is Peruzzi. He'll sweep it, and hands going. Birchfield and Jax lining up, looking for another go. Birchfield and Jax trading blows. Jax getting a right in. Helmet off of Jax's head. Birchfield holding his ground. Jax and Birchfield will now be separated by the officials.
Ice Rays with a 1-0 advantage, and right off the dot we have a fight. It's Pillipuk going after it with Ray. Pillipuk with a right hand. Reed is just pounding him with rights. Pillipuk, not much of a fighter, giving it his all as Reed continues to deliver hammers now. And they are broken up, and a couple of taps with one another. Earhart down the wall. 10 seconds to go in the period. Talbly's going to get a penalty here. That was something. Richard has to be careful. The Ice Rays have a power play, and now they're fighting. Here we go. It's Richard and Talby. The captain's not going to allow you to touch his netminder. Richard with a couple big rights. Oh, it's a couple of heavyweights, and Richard goes down.
Right at the blue line. Hager's pass goes right in on Mikey Conlon. Puck comes free behind the net as Conlon just gets the puck out of harm's way over to Spencer. Spencer gliding through the neutral zone. Here's a fight now. Mikey Conlon, or Marshall Swanson, getting a couple of punches in, getting taken down hard to the ice is Luke Matthews. Swanson with a couple of shoves here as the referees will separate both Matthews and Swanson.
The red line and get it deep. Takes the hit to make the play. Seafeldmeyer can win it. Polio lays the body. Aviators back to it. Humble with a lot of space here. Fanned on the shot. As a swipe it down low, there's a hat trick down in a heap of pain. Polio gets jumped, and that'll be a penalty. Now McGuire drops the gloves, and we got a fight down in the corner. We'll have to see with all the results. McGuire hammering over the top. Has his man in a heap, and now trying to go for the takedown, and the linesman will jump in. Buffoni and Williams are together. I don't think Buffoni wants to drop the gloves.
It also has a great scoring touch as well. Rochester controls it. Here's Jackson shouting now down the left wing. He'll dump that one down. Fierson having to settle it. Dewberry looks for it. Here we go. Gallo facing off now with Gavin Carr. Gallo with the right. Gallo misses a right. Carr takes down Gallo. Oh, Gallo missed with that heavy hit.
Like both teams are now starting to just go over the body. Cooney and Vargas throwing some rights. Cooney firing back. They're going back. Cooney knocks Vargas down. Got back up, but the linesman step in as Vargas looked like he was knocked off balance. 10:22 left here in the third period. Steele win the faceoff. Schulte fans off that hard hit. Now it's an offsides. As now Johnson. You can just see these tensions right. And then it looked like it was a clean hit, and now looks like it's Riccardi and Kindset that are going together as Kindset was throwing some punches and Riccardi wasn't doing anything. Hall gets to it for the Ice Dogs.
The 18:49 mark. 1 minute left in the third period.
Boarding a late hit as now get together. Can't see what was going on as you could see some boarding calls coming. There we go. And they're still coming together here as action. Looks like we will end up having You know that there's at least one penalty for a boarding call, and now that is Manzella going after Osborne.
It away, and it's turned back over. There's a centering pass broken up by the Blues, and now a penalty coming up. And it looks like this one, we've got some action back at the other end as we got a couple of players going at it. That's Whitted for the Junior Blues. And it looks like Bongiorno for the Wisconsin Wendigo as they are throwing fists, and Bongiorno goes to the ice.
In the first, Williams will try to get it out. He does. Michaud now going to chase here, and Osei Williams down behind the play. Slow up, and now Mensel's going to drop him. Here we go. Kai Mensel goes a couple quick rights here against Fournette. Fournette, the bigger guy, about a 6-inch height advantage. Fournette and Mensel going back and forth. He'll put him in the boards here, and they'll lock up. But you have to love that. Mensel in his first game as a hat trick. This way, they're Duncan. Good stick, Terranova. Melnick near corner. And now Duncan hit hard behind by Kerr. Kerr's going to go on a break here. Now Osei is going to run him, and so is Deans. Deans is going to run Kerr, and here we go. Osei will take him into the corner. Duncan hard down on the left. I didn't see the hit. It was behind. Deans left the crease, which you can't do as a goaltender, even if it's in his own zone.
By Alexander Stevens just to hold his ground. There's challenging behind. Oh, we've got it going back and forth. Norris and Stevens. There's a penalty being whistled, and it might be Norris and Stevens going to the box as things just get. Oh, we got a fight now. It's William Stewart going up against Setapani. Grayson Setapani. Stewart turtles him a bit. And that's the end of that. Quick fight.
Cuts in. Affinen has Morelli with him. Shot, save made, and Morelli can't get to the rebound before lead-in. And now we've got some pushing and shoving in front of the St. Cloud net. And Morelli's going to go with Stanberg, I think. No, Ori going with Shaw. Ori hammering away. My goodness. Ori.
And we're going to have a fight right off the draw. It's Jacob Guile. He'll be going against Trevor Joseph. They square up in the neutral zone. Guile throws a right a couple times. They finally meet up. And Guile with a huge left. Another one. Making a third left for Guile. Jacob Guile can be a lefty too. And a right to finish him off. Oh my, Jacob Guile.
Get the scoring here in a moment for the Jets. And we got a fight. Didn't see this one coming. Big crowd here tonight, going to get their money's worth. Let's rock 'em, sock 'em. And they're down. The fans are loving it. Steele looking for a boost, Jets looking for a boost, and neither player wants to let go.
Mikey Conlon right behind his own cage, quickly finds Abdul Alabek. Puck exits the playing surface, and we're going to have a fight after the play. Here's Mikey Conlon. He gets taken down to the ice, getting into it with Pete Morris. That was a quick fight as
Conlon blew a tire, spilled down to the ice with 9:52 to go. Tempers had been flaring all night between these two.
Puck bounces out in front. Creech controls the bouncing biscuit. Dueling with a huge hit there. And down goes Ty Creech. Hopefully he's all right, but still hasn't gotten up. And now Dueling dropped the mitts with Hager. We got a fight. Oh, and Hager with a big takedown. Dueling wants round two, but the officials break him up.
By the Titans. They're going to get an offensive zone draw here, and Creech and Fournette really going at it. Drury joining it in, and now it's getting real heated. Creech right now going at it with Fournette. And now Drury dropping the mitts with O'Neal. Drury gets backed up. Both of them are delivering rights. Look at Drury. Oh, and he jabs him with the right and knocks him down.
Got a piece of it. Silverberg settles. Over to Bickler, and Silverberg gets taken out. No penalty on that. And Mospin's going to drop him. With Giosi, they go down trying to get up for a fight. They're finally up throwing rights at each other, and they all go down. So gloves on the ice, Jacobs and Bickler as well. Good to see Silverberg at least back up to his feet.
Turned over. Here's Fredenberg, centering pass, looking for Osiashvili out of his reach. Ziski gonna slap one on net into the blocker of Byers, and now we got some extra pushing and shoving. And Osiashvili will drop the gloves with Dietz. Here's Osiashvili, gets knocked down, hops right back to his feet, delivers a right to Dietz, and now they wrestle each other as Osiashvili's in a headlock, trying to wrestle Dietz down to the ice, and he does. Good fight there.
Gets it on the left wing, cuts to the middle, on the backhand, slow feed, still in front of the blue paint, bouncing around. Now Lipset, he'll take a head, he drops the gloves, here we go. Lipset, he throws a right, and another right there, and Lipset takes some. He's trying to protect himself as Grimes is unloading on him. Grimes gets the other glove off. Lipset just absorbed a few blows. He got a couple of good rights in early. Now Grimes is just getting all the throws in. Lipset down to a knee. And after a very even fight at the beginning, Parker Grimes Wendigo on. We got a fight. That's Bashaw getting tied up there. Not sure who he's going with. Ty Bashaw giving up a few inches, but not. And that's going to do that one.
Opportunity on the outside from the far dot, but boy, oh boy, Erickson coming back strong. As things get heated up here, here's Hubbard. And Murray going at it. Murray takes Hubbard down.
Pump fake, putting one on traffic. Maselli saves, and now we're going to have the pushing and shoving in front of the net. Scanlon getting involved, pulling on a jersey of Billy Biederman. And now everybody's trying to get to, looks like Sinani's trying to get to Coots. Alexander Vinachinkwe is just delivering some, yeah, he's got a little Rocky Balboa in him. There he is with the right hand. That gloves are off. Vinachinkwe, Christian throwing right hands, tying up. His left hand still in his glove. There's another right hand. Now Vinachinkwe taking him to the ice. And we know in West Islip, New York, Father Charlie is.
As Morris and Maglio got tied up behind the play. Now Perreault comes over, and Morris and Perreault are going to have a battle here. Now look out, Genevieve's involved with Biedorf. We have scraps all over the place. And Morrison Perot, there's a big battle here. Perot standing at 6'8", and he throws a right hand, and Morris loses an edge, and he goes to the ice. Really never materialized. Let's take a look here and see if that one did get in. No, it didn't. Morris just lost an edge and went down. I'm not sure why he was celebrating as much as he did. Coleman, a drop pass and a wrist shot. That's denied. And now shot back toward the Tomahawks goal by Barada, and the Tomahawks take exception to that. And now things getting a little bit crazy. That was shot after the whistle, and the Tomahawks took exception to it. And you see the result of it. And the temper's really running short here. And now the goalies are going to go. Zach Ferris and Pachenin want to do it. We're going to have a goalie fight. You don't see too many of these, but Pachenin at 6'5", he and Ferris are throwing some bombs at each other right now. They are throwing absolute bombs at each other. And both guys landed some good shots there. And the goalie said, that's it, we're going to do it, and they did it.
For digging into any project. Face-off one there by the Rhinos. They have it in their own end. Along that right side, we got a fight. Oh, a couple of right hooks. Another right hook there by Roberts. Roberts now headlocked with his man, and a nice takedown there by Roberts. He got tied up there with Steffen. A nice bout for the two. And now they got to get broken up, and perhaps that's a fight from Roberts that'll wake up the Mudbugs bench. Tossing the Teddy Bears into the first goal. Hope you join us. Pushing and shoving. Modelski made the save, and more pushing and shoving. This one getting a little bit more crazier. And now Earhart tied up with his man. We got a fight. And now Earhart, a couple of right hooks and a takedown on his man. And they're still going. They get back up. Look like they wanted to go another round.
OC. And a big hit there in the neutral zone by Roenick. Roenick, cross-check from behind by Peters. We're going to get a penalty coming up here, and here we go. Peters going at it. Battling in the crease and taken down. Punches still flying as Peters cross-checked Roenick from behind, and Alex Gelhar taking down Peters.
Hodges up to Volkman, and that's sent back down in, but regained by Hodges.
Man,
here we go. Andrews and Mahar going at it now. Andrews.
Yeah,
Andrews wasn't ready for it.
Got jumped there, caught off guard.
But it looks like he got the better of it here.
Toros lead 4-2. Final minute of play brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Equipment. Puck into the zone for the Bruins. We're going to have a go. Kenny locked up with Frischetti. Kenny with some uppercuts underneath. Frischetti misses over the top, and Kenny with a good right underneath. Another one underneath, another. And then he brings the hook. Kenny holding his own, not just holding his own with Frischetti, but dominating this one. Frischetti hasn't landed anything, and now they tie up.
Taken by DeAngelis. Deflects for Ziver. He's able to clear it. And now we've got Avery Anderson with a fight with Lyskawa. Avery Anderson getting a couple of blows in there, but Lyskawa's got a hand free. Now they both go at it. There's Anderson. He's got some rights in there. Lyskawa's lost his helmet, then he goes down. And the crowd roars.
Blocked. And Sprickman, another one, glances off a body out in front. I think that went off of Tarleton and up into the netting out of play. And now a little more action after this play. And now dropping the gloves is Manzella with Whitted. And he takes him down.
Wristed right back in by Mikey Conlon. Ferris out of his net to play it. Ferris gets run into.
Here we go.
And now Peterson comes after. Who is that? Is that Engel? And they're going to go. Drew Peterson and Broxton Engel.
Yeah, Peterson just couldn't quite get his footing. But you can see that coming.
Ready to go in this third period. Behind the net, it's Cole Esty who will poke one up the wall. It leaks for Takash. Takash tries to tuck it in further. A body is down in the corner for the Nordiques, thus the whistle. Didn't necessarily see how that happened. And oh, we've got some serious fighting going on at center ice. Everybody grab a dance partner. Zuzpetskov's in the mix. Now the gloves are off. Jackson Schouten is going in the corner. Jackson Schouten is going after Butte. Jackson Schouten and Butte charges Schouten. A couple of punches. Oh, Schouten dumps him down. Schouten is a tough customer. Schouten continues to battle Butte. Butte is able to hold his ground for now, but Schouten's not done. Schouten want to take Butte down. He's got the brute strength. This one's getting really chippy here inside the Rochester right center. An excellent tilt between Butte and Schouten.
Draw push deep by Hubbard. Guile delivers a nice little shoulder check there. Ice Rays staying with it though. Guile on a shoving match now. On the side of the net, they're gonna drop the gloves. Guile throws a left twice, 3 times. A good scrap here with Norris, and Guile gets the takedown. Jacob Guile shows that he's the king of the South. Give him the belt. Edberg wins the draw. Bickle will fire it deep. We have a fight. It's Caleb the Brewer. Trying on this Williams Stewart right in the neutral zone. They square up. They'll engage. Stewart trying to rip the Bruins coming up. The Bruins throws it right. Misses. And they continue to scrap the ice. Stewart trying to rip the Bruins coming off.
To see that scrap.
Back on the way, we have a fight again! And Tyler has the road with Philippou. They try to engage, big right! Philippou comes across, has this well, got stuck the robot, and they will go down! Tyler has first in the NHL fight!
Rush, and now
defensive
Fodder
zone
is going to have a prime time
Bjornsson.
tilt correction. You're right, it's Bjornsson who's going to go up against Burkholder right at center ice. The crowd comes to its feet. They start to grapple with each other. Bjornsson 3 rights. Now he's getting a couple from Burkholder in return. Burkholder is throwing all sorts of right hands over the top on Bjornsson, has him in a headlock, and things get broken up. And Bjornsson
and 7 assists apiece. And the Brahmas power play unit is at a new level. We got some Greco-Roman wrestling happen behind the boards as McClellan and Martin have dropped the gloves, and we got a fight back behind as McClellan goes down. Martin throwing some hammers on top of them while they're down. And Martin gloves with Wolf Talby. Nope, play goes over. Rimple, he was ready. Vates was ready. Out loose on the far side. Keep your eyes. Oh, they're eviscerated. Now Vates is looking for it. Gloves are off. Here we go. Vates and Wolf Talby, right hand going down. And there we go. He was looking for it all period, and he's giving him his business, yelling at him.
They continue to succeed. Now, if this score stands, they've be in track for their 11th win in 13 tries, and we have a brawl on the other side of the ice. Ronnie Hill has someone pinned down. You can't see his number. It's 15. Ronnie Hill sticking it to Tommy Manzella. That one's up with Kinseth. Dishes out a big hit towards Steele, and Sardo is going to stand up for his teammate, but a chance on the other side of the ice is missed. And Sardo and Kinseth are going to fight. Both lean some clean shots. Kinseth will get over Sardo, but nonetheless. Cal Grills receiving some shoves. He has 28. Anthony Nolan on the ground. Both of them are shoving back and forth. Nolan has given up on the play, and he is just going after Grills, who wraps him up. Helmets off. Officials taken down. And a game that was relatively tame.
Coming through the middle, taken by Alexander. Alexander now has Isaacson, takes a huge hit, and Alexander's hurt. Isaacson takes a hit, or Scanlon takes a hit as well, and Alexander is hurt. Now here comes Maddox Talacro, gloves are off. He's not getting a willing combat. Now he's got Wolf Talby, he's going for him. Maddox Talacro with the right hand. Talby wanted nothing to do with the combat, I wouldn't either. He is running and hiding, but Talacro did exactly what he should do as a captain to defend his wounded man.
It's cleared to center to Ray Ainen. Was able to find Anderson, who played it in, and now Pilipuk wants to go after Bickler. Here we go. Pilipuk with a couple big rights on Bickler. They get back up and exchange rights. Pilipuk again with a couple big hammers. Bickler with a couple of rights. Pilipuk continues to go after Bickler. What a tilt this is. Pilipuk trying to get his right arm free. And they finally are exhausted.
Tanner Duncan back in front. Smith jammed off the pad of Stockseth. Lanza brings it around. Nice play by Smith, even though he got tripped up to play that puck. Maryland's still in possession, and now Stockseth just takes down Smith, and now this is going to start a brawl. And the officials not letting Daniel Johnson go with Gavin O'Hara after Stockseth threw the cheap shot on Smith. And I think both players are not happy. And then he threw another cheap shot. This is going to get ugly quickly. As Stockseth losing his cool. And Gatto's now near the boards. We might get a goalie fight here. Sakura has a man in the headlock. Spongin not having a fun time in the far corner. Oh, they're going to do it. We got a goalie fight, ladies and gentlemen. Stockseth dropping the mitts. Here comes Tom Gatto. Don't do an official, no. Come on! Let him go! Oh, man!
Klein as now Flood dropping the gloves. John Flood and Holden Gallagher drop the gloves, and here we go. Flood grabs it. Flood gets some rights. John Flood with some great rights down a headlock. Gallagher trying to pull it away, but oh my! John Flood.
As Wilson tries to dig the puck free. Big collision as Jake Schultz dumps it general, and we're going to get some pushing and shoving here as Schultz gets a hold of Alejandro Blum. Schultz is getting into it. He gets a couple of punches in on Blum. It's right in the near corner. Schultz with another haymaker as they're continuing to go at it right in the near side corner as they finally get separated as Alejandro Blum and Jake Schultz.
Puts it in behind the net. Preem pins a man again and then gets put in a headlock. Meanwhile, a shot fought off by Cook. Preem wants to go, and he will. Well, there's your over for penalty minutes right off the hop. As we've got 30 penalty minutes right there. As Cat Preem and Beckett Hinchcliffe. Rosenoff working on Dawson, hits the brakes, tries to throw to the middle. Sidorov hacks it to the corner instead. What do we got? Ty James is going to go with Spino. Ty and Spino up against the glass. Ty hammering away with the left hand. Spino now on his back. And Ty scores the takedown. Spino went crashing into Cook.
Nice body check, but back around the boards. Looking for it is Brady Haynes. A hit on Murray. Moves across. Doherty slap shot. Just missed. Not by much. Back to the point. Down is a Jen. And a penalty coming up. As in comes Murray to drag down a Black Bear. And a couple of punches thrown as well. That's Sakura. And Murray is still down into a pile. Referee's trying to get on top of him. As in the middle of this, trying to get the number. It might be Brady Haynes. But Kyle Murray, he didn't like something.
Dempster, and they'll give Galvin the assist. I thought it was Judge. Sprung will chase here with Johnson. Sprung, nice work. Gets hit up high. We got a fight. Josh Williams is going to go here with LaPierre. Williams with some over the top, and now LaPierre with some uppercuts to the right. Williams now will take him down the ice. Josh Williams getting the light, fired up for the hat tricks right there. In the back of the play has Sprung and taken the puck at center.
The blue line along the right side, back up to Briggs Orr as he rips a shot straight into the chest of Neeson. And here we go. We're going to have a fight. Charlie Birchfield drops his gloves, and he wants a piece. He wants a piece of number 24 of the Mallards, and he does, and he wrestles him to the ground. Birchfield with the fight win.
Matches that they will have. Ford weaving his way for a shot. Oh, and he's capped out. It's just wide. Well, that could have been something. Now here's Ogle. Weighing a haymaker. Well, and Ethan Ogle sending Pillow Puke out and down for the count. Well, the Wranglers bench loving that one. Well, we got another fight. Well, as that one ended, another one started. Mason Lupo.
Brody may want to go with him. That's Ian Christian. They're still jousting, and now they may want to go, and that's it. Here they go. Brody Olson has no problem throwing the gloves down. Brody takes a couple there. And
at front, got it there, but no one was home by the time he got it there. That was Behaineman who got it up front there. And here we go behind the play. Extracurricular, it's Thomas, and here we go. Thomas left. Another left from Thomas, and he takes him down. Thomas hammers Gagne.
By the Wolverines, chipped up the boards, and it does just barely come out to center ice, and then a big hit there. Now Whitted is going to drop the gloves as McPartland receives a big hit there at center ice, and I would argue a pretty late hit as well. And Whitted takes exception to that. He jumps in defense of his teammate as he goes after Duke Gensler there.
Second period. Dumped down by the Bruins in neutral ice. No icing. And then Diebold ends up being tumbled to the ice. And Birchfield is going to fight
Doyle, or Paddington, excuse me, for that shove to the ice on die ball. And Birchfield is just laying haymakers on Paddington. Paddington ends up ducking and ends up hitting the ice. Paddington did not want any part of that fight, as Jonathan Set gets run down in the back in the neutral zone, but he pops back up to his skates. And now a fight between Bryce Grimes and Doyle right below me in the HKG Architecture booth. Grimes with a left, trying to stave off Doyle with a face in front of Grimes. Doyle's helmet's off. Grimes with some more fisticuffs. Grimes gets shoved to the ice. He pops back up and wants more. The linesmen get in between them as they're both smiling to one another.
Shot that goes wide. Back in front, try to tuck it in there. And we're probably going to have penalties coming this time. Can't quite see who it is there.
Looking with gas. The Jackalopes just trying to get out of the period. Now for the Jacks, here they go. And he's wrapped up in the corner. We'll get a fight. Pekovic versus Zajac, a little bit of a featherweight matchup. And Zajac takes him right down. Zajac with the takedown, and
he got hammered in a penalty upcoming to Zaberganov for laying a hit on Lucier. And the Brahmas will go back to the man advantage. Sanani and O'Keefe are getting into it. Sanani drops the gloves. O'Keefe doesn't want to. And now Sanani's taking advantage and delivers a couple of rights.
Ruth. Paddington out of his reach, tries one last ditch effort. And we are seeing that Fanti is in the box right now as there's a check into the wall on the near side to Ruth. Jordan Fanti still in the box despite the Bruins, despite the penalty. And now we've got something going. It's a fight down by the goal. Puck was down. So much to keep track of here. Puck was down to our left. John Flood getting into it with Matt Chrisman.
Keeps Hewer away from the boards. Severin and Bongiorno work it, and AJ Bongiorno tips it in. They score, and a fight breaking out between Hewer and Mato. As the goal goes in, Mato throws, right hook, he lands a few, Hewer gets one. They exchange a few more, both on their feet. And Mato has Hewer in a headlock. They score the goal.
Mudbugs up 5-zip. At the right point, takes a weird hop off a New Mexico defender, played to the blue line, and now we're gonna get a fight. DiIulio drops the gloves. He's been taking fighting lessons all week in practice from Ty Easton. At center, they scrap a couple of big rights. They're trading back and forth. DiIulio with all over his counterpart. Bickler, big bound at center ice, all kind of rights. He's landing them over the top, now back under. At center, they tie up. Linesman letting them go far here. DiIulio's getting tired. Bickler trying to grab his second hand free. Deliver the big right to DiIulio. He's got a couple of helmet shots. Bickler, by the way, removed his helmet, and now DiIulio takes him down to the ice at the center circle.
Around the boards for Hudson Ruth through his legs. Crane pushes it by Perreault. What a hit by Alex Perreault. And they're going to call him for a penalty. Now Mishak getting, and Bougeot, and now business has picked up. Everybody going at everybody. Hudson Ruth has Bougeot and Gallivan. Perreault trying to help. Davis back on his feet. John Flood and J.J. Franceschetti as Ruth tackles the Norseman to the ice. Now Bugeaud and Davis going at it. Or rather, that's Sam Crane. Back on their feet on the far side, it's John Flood with Gabriel Mishak. Davis tied up with Crane as Hudson Ruth is being escorted to the box. Davis now gets a shot or two. He gets an uppercut, square in the face. Davis still going at it, trying to get Crane down to the ice, and he does. A 5-on-5 brawl.
Goes behind the net all the way out to the near half wall. Coleman takes a penalty. And now more pushing and shoving after the play. I think it's going to just be checking from behind, and Maryland will go back to the power play. Picarillo got his helmet ripped off for a second. Is anyone going to get the gloves off, or are we just going to stay right now? It's just everyone just tied up. There we go. Ains gets the glove off with Picarillo. A size disadvantage for the Staten Island native, but he's a fighter. And he gets on top. They still are going at it. Great balance here. Ains trying to go over the top, and he'll finish there and get Picarillo down, but a really good tilt.
But nothing too threatening on Girard. Pilipuk was tied up, and Pilipuk's going to go with Landon Poe. Pilipuk giving up a lot of size here, trying to get some rights in. Poe is hammering Pilipuk with a couple uppercuts. Poe is now going after Pilipuk, and Poe continuing to throw jabs as Pilipuk is hanging on for dear life. And the big man Poe at 6'6".
For Sprung, he'll tip it in. They'll call icing here on this one. And now O'Hara's gonna go. Here we go, center ice. Gavin O'Hara and Rose. Hutchinson, Rose, and O'Hara. They both grab on as they get going. Rose with some uppercuts and overcuts. O'Hara loses his jersey, comes over the top. Rose will get some noogies in, and O'Hara with the takedown. O'Hara, whose helmet is on, his jersey's completely off.
Barely. Kazembowski lays that hit behind the net. Nafla now will pick it up. And we've got a fight as Hodges taking on number 7. Hodges trying to get his hand loose. Hodges feeding. Now he's taking a couple. These guys are going back and forth. Hodges is fighting number 7. Hodges lands a right. And Hodges just wrestles him down and suplexes him. That was Nathan Machika.
Down low, we'll see what he can do with it. On the backhand, up top now, Santiago, the drive through, screen save, Estrella. Oh, it's loose, the premature whistle. Rose looked to tuck it home. He is mad, and now he's taking out his anger on the red buckets in front. Here we go. Scrott in front. Rose with his gloves off with Rothstein, and Rose rips him down. Hutch Rose.
Oh, and Girard is asking for a whistle here, and he will get it. His net going in the process. And we got a fight! Here we go! Alexander has got his bucket wrapped up. Oh, the buckets go flying. Well, and Jake
comes off of Sorensen, bounced off his. I don't even think he knew he was going to get the pass, but he did. And now what do we have? A little tussle at the referee's crease. Oh, we got a fight. Straight up. Ronnie Wade and Brendan Murray. A little tussle as the Rhinos try to fight their way back into this one.
In the neutral zone. Stolen away by Campbell. And here we go. Big battle. Roenick with a right. Another right by Roenick. Roenick with another right. Another right by Roenick. Right in front of the Mountain Kings bench. Battling there with LaFerriere. Matching. Played ahead to Powell's in the neutral zone. And here we go again. Here we go again. A takedown by Knutson. Oh, my goodness.
Swing and a miss on that pass. Markarian will pick it up. He'll play to the far side. Karvinen can't get the puck out. There's a player down. And it looks like Markarian got him with a chop behind the play. Bellinger going at it, and now Dueling is going after another guy. The gloves are off. Dueling gets tripped up by the official, pops back up, and just a huge right. Oh my goodness.
But I'm wondering if he's not going to get more penalty minutes. I do not know if Murray Canerva,
there's another takedown in front,
got his gloves off and was a willing combatant until it was
too late, and now Shaw going at it with Markarian.
Johnson to the far side. It's controlled there by Fournette. Josh Fournette with a counter hit there and sends Owen King twirling like a top. And then, oh my goodness, what right hands? Who is pummeling JP Sadie? That is Daniel Johnson. Good night.
That was Leonard went down. Leonard and Matson, Heighton and Matson, sorry, gonna go at it. Heighton went after Matson right off the bat, and
This is a big hit in neutral. Solominski, meanwhile, Nemenko shot from a tough angle and up. We're going to have a go behind the play. Ramirez with De Laurentiis. De Laurentiis lands a couple rights. Ramirez misses. Now he sticks him back. Ramirez with a couple of big rights. That's just a good tilt both ways, but I think Ramirez landed a couple.
Waiting, shooting, save, rebound, covered up by Davis. Now Lynch and Hubbard come together, and they're going to drop the gloves. Lynch throwing a couple of lefts. Hubbard with a right free, missed with a first. Lynch coming across with a few more lefts. Both connect. Lynch with 2 and 3 more. Hubbard responds. And now the linesman trying to break it up. They're still trying to throw hands. And they will be separated. A spirited bout between Lynch and Hubbard.
Now retreating back. He'll hand off to Ickes. Fumbles with the puck. Lucrezio has it. He's being hounded there by Hall. The Northeast bench was looking for a penalty. Now we'll get a whistle as we'll get some pushing and shoving. Lou Lucrezio right in the middle of it for Philadelphia. It was Rear who was slow getting back to his feet. Now he joins the pile, gets a couple of punches in. Jake Schultz has a hold of one general as Schultz gets a couple of punches in. Now it's Lucrezio being separated by the referee. There's 2 generals. Now a referee spills down to the ice. Big punch there by Marshall Swanson. He gets a couple of hits in there working on Rear. Swanson continuing to go at it as Ickes and Hutloff exchange a couple of shoves. Swanson still working on Rear. As Schultz still tied up there. Hutloff spills down to the ice. Now Swanson goes after him. Rear slow getting back to his feet as Swanson still punching Hutloff. We'll finally get these 2 teams separated as both teams showing a lot of fight here. Things have been brewing all night long as Cam Wilson being separated from the pile. Swanson still going at it for Philadelphia as he got a couple of extra punches in on Vinny Ipri. As right off the draw, we'll have more fisticuffs. Getting a couple of punches in, Brayton Frick will go. Ben Varsa signaling at Will Mazenko. Getting a couple of jabs in is Brayton Frick as he takes down Jansen. Frick pops right back to his feet. Jansen gets a couple of more punches in. We'll have more players ejected as Luke Drury is sent off. Frick going right into it with Jansen as
Express ship those Fairbanks Whites down to Anchorage or wherever they're at. And here we go. We are going to have a center ice rematch between Gage Leonard and Cale Kwame. Kwame and Leonard at center ice. Leonard grabs first. Kwame gets him down over the top of him and now feeds him two rights. Leonard throwing with rights as well. There's no defense. Kwame right in the back of the head, feeding him 3 times. He's got the jersey over the back of Leonard. And once again, Leonard is getting his lunchbox taken away and his food fed to him through a straw.
Into the skates of Sebastian Vitale. Vitale, the Colorado College commit, has 2 goals in 2 games as a Titan. The battle continues on the near side half wall. Everybody poking at it. Tardy involved for the Black Bears. Finally, it's freed up down into the corner, but we have a whistle and a fight. Sebastian Vitale, his first fight as a Titan, his first takedown as well, as Logan Dooling drops the gloves with the 06 berth here. Sebastian Vitale ends up on top.
Going, and now the gloves are off and they're gonna fight. Picarillo with Morris. Picarillo trying to get underneath. They're really tied up. Picarillo's sweater coming off. Morris trying to throw a couple jabs from his knees. And that'll blow the play dead. Team's fired up, but Mark.
So best wishes to Daigo and a speedy recovery. That is a big hit along the boards, and we've got a fight straight out of that. For Shreveport, that's Ty Easton. The Rhino who's down. Nitre, Giblin, shot wide. Giblin trying to tuck it in, doesn't bounce his way. Trying to find a corner. Here's Barrett the other way, and what do we have? We've got a fight. Giblin toe-to-toe with Duke Earhart. Giblin and Earhart. Oh, what a tussle. Giblin and Earhart take him down to the ice and cage Giblin.
One forward. Passes offline once again. Perot takes a hit from Bros. And now we've got a penalty upcoming here on the Bruins. And now we'll have more as well as now Fonda drops the gloves with Alex Perot. Holy moly, that's a size difference there. Big uppercut, a big right hand, and Perot takes him down and delivers an extra one there.
He is crunched onto the boards here. This one set by McKenzie on to Sean. Miller wrapping it around the boards. Anderson scooping up. We got a fight here now. Tyler Suklis. He is letting Jabernov have it.
Nick Ram for the Maine Nordiques wore that number 59. Prior to him, a scrapper just like Hutch Rose. If you wear that number 59 as a Nordique. Oh, now behind the play, speaking of scrapping, McKay and Rose, John away at each other, and here they go. McKay with a right, Rose with 2. McKay, an undercut. Rose, a right hand. Rose rips him down, and Rose plasters McKay, and Rose with his gloves off.
Counterpoint number 23, Butler, now on the near board side to Mahart, the right point, and we got a melee going on.
Gensler and
Yeah, Gensler and Butler probably. Oh, now we got another one going on here. Broken up. There's a shot right there in the crease and covered up.
Gonna bear down there behind the net.
They got more fights going on here. That David Green was hurt. The goaltender may have been hurt. Callan Ray got pummeled pretty badly.
Yeah.
And an errant pass in the neutral zone, and that will do it for period number 2. Now look out, the temper's heating up again. As Ferris came out, I think the puck was shot in on Ferris. Ferris' helmet has come off, and look out, Wade comes down, and he wants a piece of Ferris. Ferris was in a goalie fight this year, and now Wade comes down, and he's throwing left hands at Zach Ferris. And Ferris, not sure if Ferris wants any part of this or not, can't get himself righted. And Wade and Ferris doing it. Ferris, his second goalie fight of the year. And that one kind of came out of nowhere. It looked like Ferris wasn't too interested in that, but Wade said, that's it, I'm coming the length of the ice. I don't even think Ferris saw him coming. And a pretty crazy ending to the second period here. And that is so hard to do with that goalie equipment on.
Now the race is on. Faro gets around Roenick, sent into the boards, but Wood picks up the loose puck side of the net. And now some pushing and shoving in front. And more than likely, we're going to get our first penalty or potentially penalties of the night. And now we're going to get a scrap. Henry Butte and Cole Roenick. Roenick throws a couple. Now Butte back. Butte lost his helmet right away. Roenick still has his as Butte throws Roenick down.
And we're going to get a fight. It is the captain, Owen Jury, and the newcomer, Beckett Hinchliff. Hinchliff, Jury, two strong customers. Jury trying to get the jersey. A big right for Hinchliff. Hinchliff looking for a little freedom, and they're going to get wrestled down. Hinchliff back up a couple extra numbers. And a spirited affair. And there's the fight. Jansen and Osei.
Earl Pye with a shot save. Hodges can't get the rebound, but Adams fights it, clears into the crowd, heads up. And now we have a fight. It's going to be Connell and Reed. At the right circle of the bunch zone, they engage. Reed with a couple of rights. Connell with a couple of rights. An uppercut. And they're throwing them like rockets. Soccer robots. Another uppercut by Connell. Reed goes back over the top. They're still going. And finally they tie up. And they've had enough. A heavyweight.
It's Greg Johnson with a breakaway, but couldn't get his feet set as O'Hara made a great back check there, sweeps the puck off his stick. And now we have a couple players going at it. Penalties upcoming, and we have a fight with Johnson and O'Hara. Tied up now, trying to get the hands free. We get another fight. It's a 2-for-1 deal as Laperriere's in with Regan. Johnson going at it with O'Hara. Johnson's done, but Laperriere's not, with a couple overhead throws, and Laperriere takes him down. How about that? A 2-for-1 scrap.
Oh, baby.
Johnson and O'Hara, Laperriere and Regan, and we'll have to see what comes of that.
Play. Yeah, it's funny because you can have a bad power play and turn it into a good power play. All you need is that one shot. It's the truth.
Oh, we're going to have a battle here.
We're going to have a fight here. Roberts.
Jack Roberts, and who is that?
Number 15, I believe.
That is Sam Hedrick.
Sam Hedrick. They're going to go at it. Here they go. Roberts gets a good right hand in.
And now Hedrick back with a right hand.
Oh, there's a good
and
overhand
Roberts
right
with
again.
a right. And these two are throwing some bombs.
Another good one.
And they exchange rights again. And Hedrick with a right.
Roberts
Jack Roberts with a right. Hedrick with a right. Roberts trying to get the helmet off Hedrick. And they go to the ice. That's a pretty good battle right there.
That was a good fight.
Big, tough young men.
I think I'm going to give that fight to Hedrick. They got a couple
Here comes Bauer Murphy. That's shot high, and oh boy, oh boy. Oh, havoc is going to break out here. A full-on line brawl. Grabbing a man and going at it. Holland has the mitts off, and against the glass, here we go. Holland has had about enough of Paul Spino and lands the takedown. We still have a three-man scrum near the net. Holland.
Making the moves, right?
Yep.
That one back to Kwame. Kwame.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we've got Fronner. Fronner just going straight after Kazembowski, I think. I'm not sure what ended up happening there, but Fronner just went straight after him.
That was Leonard.
Leonard didn't even have his gloves off.
No. You work hard. that's all he
Yeah.
wants, and when we do it, we have a couple wins. Just
heads up, here we go. Everybody grabs a dancing partner. Saffoldi is going right after Tyler Haas. Here we go. Saffoldi wants him. Saffoldi as Haas gets a couple rights. Saffoldi with an overhand. Oh, Saffoldi caught him with a right and he takes him down. Oh, how about that? Yes, sir. As Johnny Maruna is getting into it with the defenseman Erickson. Everybody is tossing jabs. And the lower bowl is on its feet here.
Job by Pelletieri to poke it away. Peterson has it knocked out as Pelletieri blocks the shot, and it's all the way back down in the Johnstown zone. And then a cheap shot by Gomes, and Dean's getting at it, and Peters absolutely throws down Gomes. This is getting ugly.
It is. The officials got to take control of this because Peters and Gomes are going after it right now, and that was all behind the play.
Will dump it into the zone, go for the change. Dueling will pressure Ferris. Oh, and then Ferris gets bumped into by Dueling, and now Dueling and Chiras going at it. Oh, and Chiras is getting leveled. That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Well, you got to answer for your goaltender getting run into, but
zone. Having to tag up is Lexel. And that's a big hit on Murray or out in front of the bench. And here comes Alexander. Gloves are off. Wolf Talby versus Eric Alexander at center ice. Center ice. Eric Alexander and Wolf Talby. Alexander coming in, throwing a right hand, hitting him and knocking him down. Alexander giving him a little bit of a verbal tongue lashing as well as the punch to the. He'll pick up his own pass into the zone, picking up a check there on the way. Peterson with it, grabs one and triangulates it at the net. That's a good move, and a good move by Vates to be out front as Vinachinkwe will go. Vinachinkwe goes with Adams, right-hander. Now tied up, looking for a right hand. Vinachinkwe getting a right hand. Helmet knocked off, staying strong on his feet. Right hand, now he's tied up with his left. Here comes Christian back with a right. Looking for a left-hand jab. Now he's going for the helmet removal on Adams, who's throwing body shots. That's about 6 body shots by Adams, as Christian was trying to remove the guy's helmet. And there you go. That's
Zone in to center. Reeves firing it in. And we've got a fight. It's Kralovic and Gian. Bo Kralovic, Robbie Gian. And Kralovic's got a couple of rights, and they both go down. Got hammered. He's able to regather himself as Norris trying to dip his shoulder on Erickson. Norris in front. Here goes Chase now. And Chase with a couple of rights is going right after Bickler. Chase trying to get his hand free. Bickler with a couple of rights. They're exchanging some big blows. Chase with some hammer fists, and he wrestles down Bickler. Pilipuk is hammered by Hubbard off the draw, and it's a penalty on Hubbard, and Pilipuk is really shaken up. And I think this is going to be another 4 minutes. And now Upfelder is going after Sean Smith. Upfelder with some rights. Now Smith an uppercut. Upfelder trying to get his right hand free as they exchange some blows. Upfelder a big right. Upfelder again. Oh, Upfelder and Smith in a tussle. They do-si-do. Smith can't get a punch in. Smith now with some rights. They're trying to wrestle each other down, and then another punch there from Smith, and they'll be broken up. A good tilt.
Great tilt.
Saucers it over to the far side, knocked down by Mishak. Played in deep. What a big hit by Hudson Ruth. Mishak is down. The Bruins are not slow here tonight. Flood takes a receipt from Sam Karch, but he's back on his feet. Paddington with some moves. Paddington upended by Karch. Karch with another shove, and business is starting to pick up as Samuel Mishak is on the ice. Alex Perreault dropped one glove. Here we go! Alex Perreault, Sam Karch, one right, two right, three right, and he's down! It's fight night, baby! Alex Perreault! Coleman gets shoulder tackled down to the ice, a hard hit. And now Lipset standing up for his teammate. He's going after it. Lipset, have the gloves on. There they go. Fight night round 2. Lipset takes a couple. He's battling it off. Tries to get position, and he dives down as they both go to the ice, trying to get back up to their feet. Lipset ate a few, patiently waited.
Cross ice, it goes for Bjornsson. Bjornsson with the shot on goal, the save made by Anderson. And he lays down to gain control, and now behind the net. We got two scrums out here. We got Capello and Bjornsson, and they got gloves off. And the referees don't even know it. Now Capello getting a few shots in there. Now Bjornsson with a few blows.
Luceretto moves in. Great poke check there by Smith, who gets crushed from behind. That's a terrible hit, and this is going to cause some fireworks. Drury took him down immediately, and now the Generals are getting bullied. That's a third takedown against the Generals. And now it's a fight. Sakura throwing the rights. He's going at it with Savalio. Both players landing great punches, and down to the ice they go.
Anderson having some chats with Obsletter. And Obsletter immediately drops him, and Anderson turns and drops him, and here we go. Anderson a right, Obsletter a right, and he takes down Obsletter. And Obsletter has some extras as they're on the ground. Anderson got the better of that one. Jack Shack is absolutely fired up. And so is Joey Anderson.
Skated back out here by Engel as he is crushed there by Creech and knocks Creech down after the play as they come together with each other. Referee's going to come over and break it up, and now we got a fight. Creech throwing bombs here with Engel. They're going at it. Helmet comes off there from Engel. Creech trying to throw right fists. Engel trying to fight back there with the right as well as Creech goes down to a knee. Engel got a good whack at him as they're still going at it now in a headlock. Creech throwing some lefts. Engel throwing some lefts as well. They're still going. Creech with a right. Engel with a right. Another right from Engel. Throws another one. Gets a third. Creech returns another. Now some uppercuts as they hit the boards. And that will do it for the fight. They give each other some taps.
Jets 24 seconds away from springing height and out of the box.
Try to get it back. Then we got to fight.
Mahar parallel to the ice up against the boards. And Severin and Mahar are fighting. Severin takes him to the ground. And Mahar gets another hit on him.
Very good in goal. Schratt with it, moving in. Schratt goes down, runs right into the goaltender. Schratt ran right into the goaltender, and here we go. A Pierce sixer here in front of the net as punchers are flying. As Sharapanov is going at it with Hager, and they continue to battle here. Mikhail Sharapanov with a right hand. A right hand by Hager. An uppercut by Sharapanov. And boy, there's a Pierce sixer for you here at Delta Dental Arena. Laid off the right wing wall by the Titans. Now Martin up with it. Van Martin. And we're going to get a penalty here. Knutson with a bear hug on Schratt. And now Martin going at it with O'Neill. Martin and O'Neill going at it out of our sight here. Martin and O'Neill battling it out along the right wing wall. And boy, I'll tell you what. These teams do not like one another.
He dumps it to the blue line, not out now from a knee. McKenzie and a big hit from Mitchell Reed. Knocks down a man away from the play. That was Jafone. Now we're going to get a fight. Mitchell Reed is going to be challenged now by Lucas Hine. Hine stands 6'1". Mitchell taking a couple of body shots. Reed comes in at 6'2". Good battle here at the blue line. Reed a big right, then he gets wrestled down by Lucas Hine. Away from the play now. We've got a couple of other players mixing it up. 12.
Kirsten sees the draw to his right. Danbury does control here on the offensive end. No angle shot. It's blocked. Oh, and then a stick up high. Gasperko comes over. He'll play the body as Lukey got one up high following the shot block. Well, now behind the play, Sandrick's going to try to get things going. Oh, and here we go. Gallo looking for some revenge here on Menzel. Menzel with that elbow a couple weekends ago and ejected Gallo, sent him to the hospital. Menzel, a couple of rights. Gallo, 3 rights with the receipt from 3 weekends ago. Menzel trying to cover him up. Gallo pulls him down. Another uppercut here from Gallo. Gallo gets what he wants.
Estabrooks moves it ahead, played to the far side. Will Estabrooks, and now there's going to be a fight. Markarian takes his man down after a late drop of the gloves. And Markarian is furious, and rightfully so. Galar dropped the gloves and started throwing punches before Markarian was even ready.
And Neen calls on the season. Shot from Williams from the circle. Kick save. Back out to Williams. He drags, centers it out. Tap, and here goes Francischetti. It's fight night, baby, as Francischetti, a size difference with Cooper Anderson, brings Anderson down to the knee, and a big right from JJ.
Ando pushing and shoving here. And a penalty's coming up here on Jackson Cable. Uh-oh, and we've got a fight. Jackson Cable's going to go. It is with Nasruddin. Nasruddin a couple of punches, and Nasruddin takes Cable down, and that is it. Wow, the officials jumped on that one quickly.
Chrissy Jasser still got it, gets hooked off stride there. No call upcoming. Behind the cage it goes, far side, eventually picked up, and now Jouster is going to drop the glove. It's Cooper Anderson. Anderson, a big right, but Jouster comes back with 2 more. Jonas got a couple to the back of the helmet of Anderson. Back and forth they go. Jonas without a helmet, still throwing blows. He's got a couple connected to the left side of the head there of Anderson. Linesmen have their watchful eye on as Anderson gets a couple of uppercuts there, and Jonah is still throwing. The linesman step in. It was a hit there after Jasper got hooked there with no call upcoming. Free below the goal line again for Earhart. Earhart spins off a defender, leaves it into the middle for Gerhardt, stolen away from him, rifled down the ice. So it's a clear, so Ice Rays are not able to get it out, and then a couple of players both blow a tire, and now Mitchell Reed is taking a couple of it's Duke Earhart. He's going to drop the gloves with Easton Swift at the blue line. A couple of big rights for Duke. Easton gets a couple of them back, and then he throws Duke down to the ice and takes a punch at him as he's down on the ice, breaking the unwritten rules there, but he's still jabbing away at Duke Earhart with 57 seconds left. Easton Swift
had a lot on it, but he missed. Now it's played down the ice by the Wilderness. This one rolling all the way down, and it will be an icing on Minnesota. And now Cameron dropping the gloves at center ice. He's going after Freeman there. They try to get those two separated. Everybody comes crashing to the ice.
This has been a really helter-skelter game, and it's always interesting whenever Rochester and Elmira come together. As now bodies collide behind the net, it's guided back to the point. The long-range shot is blocked, and there's going to be a penalty upcoming as now the Aviators are going over to talk to Ryan Flaherty, and gloves are off right now, and Flaherty is throwing some right fist. Flaherty's had enough of this. He's defending himself. He gets toppled over, but Ryan Flaherty not going down without a fight.
Good quick pass across to Oliver. Oliver firing one. Getting past. Now McFadden getting thrown into the boards by Thornton, ripping it around. Oliver will pick this up. Here we go. We got fights. And Vates with a big right hand. Jackson Vates delivering a decisive right hand as Cole Gushkin is engaged, and there's multiple people engaged in pushes. As we see McFadden, is he going to go with Belanger? He can't go with Belanger because Belanger has a fish bubble on.
And he pushed it wide. That all started by a wonderful play by Burleson, who had to reach out with his right hand to glove down that clearing attempt by Norris. Troutwine and Pilipuke took some hits up high. Now Pilipuke wants to go with Davis and delivers a big right. There's a massive size advantage here for Davis, but Pilipuke is delivering a couple of right jabs. Davis gets his right hand free and delivers a couple of right hooks, and they will be separated, but a nice little tilt there.
Here is McIntosh. McIntosh trying to head coach. And there's going to be a real brouhaha here. Manzella and Gallagher going at it. Mostly wrestling. Oh, Manzella, down they go.
Chrisman, Murphy, Berg, Roberts, and Pierman. And now we got a fight behind the play. A big hit, and Ori's going after Berg.
On the 16th and 17th. Big hit. Cal Grills and Joey Mugas collide. Emma Seabay takes it around. Gloves are off. And a fight out in front of the crease as Bo Kralovec standing up for Cal Grills. Ben Cameron and Kralovec after it. And Kralovec brings Cameron down to the ground with him. Kralovec didn't even have a chance to remove the gloves.
Has to get back as Rooney trying to turn the corner. Konevich wouldn't allow it. That was well done by Konevich. Continues to go after Rooney. And there's a penalty upcoming to Konevich as Jaberganov and Osiashvili start throwing rights. Osiashvili is throwing some hooks on Jabergonov, who is being manhandled right now by the linesman Geddes. You see Sinani went right after Burleson. And they topple over one another. 2.5 minutes remaining. Team they play this year, then it's Lone Star, El Paso, and Oklahoma to close out the season. As Norris right off the faceoff just started pounding the center iceman, and this is going to lead to all kinds of scrums as Skuratov and Davis start throwing rights. Oh, Skuratov just delivered a huge bomb on Davis. Oh, he completely buckled him. As Chucky Norris wanted absolutely nothing but hammering the center iceman of Oklahoma. I don't even know who it was who was taking the face off. And then away from the plate, Skuratov put a right fist right in the grill of Nolan Davis.
Knutson sends that one down and in on goal. And oh, Gelhar and Rose immediately getting into a fight here. Gelhar going for the punches. Rose with some rights throwing. Oh, Rose with the haymakers. And we'll send that one to Santiago. Oh, and now Roenick's getting into a fight. There's 2 fights in the first 22 seconds. Roenick already starting. Sandruk and Roenick. Roenick with a couple of rights. Boom! 2 fights in 22 seconds. Hill after the face-off. Trying to shoot it on, it goes off the goaltender. We have another one! 3 in 30 seconds, Cale Knutson now! 3 fights in 30 seconds! Cale Knutson takes him down!
In the second period, 4-2, Maryland has the lead. Fed up the far side, and Glentz gets upended as Inkster put the body into him and sent him flying. And now look out, they come after Ingstrup. Who is that? That's Cole Peters. And he is just hammering right there on Ingstrup, who is down. And Sullivan comes over and they try to get him out of there. I'm not sure if Ingstrup, there was no original penalty coming up here on Ingstrup.
Garanzi touches it. Goaltender leaves it. They'll carry him it all the way around. Neutral zone. Ballard has a man on him. Off of a offside. Now we got, what, a fight going on? What the heck? What do they want to fight for? Callan Ray.
Two of their 4 off. As the Rebels move back in, Brothers a sharp angle shot. Pinned to the chest by Aiden McKenna. 1:10 to go in the Rebel power play. Some excessive pushing and shoving after the play. It's 6:28 to go in the period. 1:10 to go in the power play. Klochkov is second in the entire league in penalty minutes. And now Leferrier gets the gloves off with Engel, so we got a fight. And Engel will get the upper hand and take Leferrier down. He's trying to get back up. Engel's going to continue to hammer away. Klochkov is already sitting, so we'll see if that shows off the power play. Engel and Leferrier will be taken back to the locker rooms. Alabek is still in it. He got the gloves off now with Picarillo. Picarillo will get the upper hand this time. Here, and here's Taylor in with room. Taylor shoots, save to Kittens. Rebound was available and would not go. And now we got players tied up after the play. Sakalis gets his gloves off. He threw at least one punch against Swanson, who lost his lid. And now we'll see what comes of this.
Kwame up to the red line. Entanglement ensues. Kwame and Mochika gonna drop the gloves now. Kwame with 2 early rights. They're right in front of the Wolverines bench. Kwame, couple more going for the bucket. Both of them tangled up. No one can get in between. Kwame with the left now, and it's turning into an absolute battle as that one goes on for about 30 seconds.
Instead feeds the trailer. Here's Schaefer a drive, blocked by Snyder, hops right back to his stick. Schaefer closed out by Snyder, bouncing puck in front, and the net will tumble onto Francisco. And now everybody grab a partner here as Schaefer. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of penalties here, I could tell you that. Schaefer and Dodig changing some pleasantries. Now in the corner here, they're really some rough and tough stuff. As Martin dumps his man to the ice, that's Fonda Bros. Now Edwards, now Dodig and Schaefer grab each other. Let's see if they want to go. And it's
a chance and a save by Melcher. Melcher cleans up the mistake by his captain. Now Konevich is going after, I believe that is Gentler, and they are continuing to tussle. Now Konevich is throwing a couple rights, and Konevich drags down Gentler. He's ragdolling the Wrangler. Konevich does not want to be pried loose. He had enough of Gentler. Dosido in the corner. Evans swipes it off the stick of Evstaginev. And just as he was getting to the puck, there's a whistle. I think a penalty upcoming as Sinani's going after Koval. And Sinani dropped the gloves. Sinani's going after the big defenseman of the Wranglers. He's trying to get free, and he wrestles him down. Wow, you don't see Nick Sinani usually that eager to chuck him. But he went right after the Ukrainian Koval and did rather well for himself.
To the net. That one's denied by Alexienko, and the rebound was chopped over top the goal. Now Doling, he and Stewart get tied up with one another. Play still alive in Johnstown territory. And now Doling whacks Stewart, and I think Doling wants to go, and I'm not sure Stewart. Stewart says, all right, you want to do it, let's do it. I'll tell you what, Doling is one tough character right here. This is a big battle for Will Stewart. Doling can throw him. There's no question about that. They size one another up, and they grab on. Look out, that big right hand from Doling. Stewart trying to get the right hand free. Still nothing got in yet. Stewart lands a right hand, knocks the helmet off of Doling. Now Doling comes back with a left. And now they go to the ice. Pretty good battle right there.
Ahead, Santiago settles. Watch out, Diaz right there on his back. Diaz takes out Santiago. Oh, and Henry Butte's going to step up on Diaz for that hit. Butte, couple of undercuts, and Butte rips him down. Butte taking obsession to that hit as he rips down Diaz. As
side. Reeves into the corner, but there's Tarleton to scramble him up into the corner. Penalty coming up here on Minnesota. No, they're going to get on the... Well, we'll have to see here as the play was blown dead when the Steel had the puck, but Steel thought it was going to be on Minnesota. Then afterwards, Matt Tarleton going to throw hands with Martins. They're hammering each other back and forth with right. Oh, there's Tarleton connecting with the right cross and now feeding Martins with a series of rights before Martins comes back and is able to, at the end of the fight, to bring Tarleton down.
Austin's pass up ice, mishandled by Nichols to the far side. And Nichols gets absolutely buried. And now he's got the gloves off and he's going at Flood.
Back to the middle for Galvin from Zamotric. He's ripped down. This is going to be a power play for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. And then Galvin takes an extra shot from Bloom, and here we go. Some Trasher-like moments from Brendan Boring. And now Ula locked up with a man. Blum is being have to restrain, and now Ula and physical weekend.
Keeps the play alive. Solano causing chaos down there. He gets put into the glass hard. Hubbard and Gregoire going at it now. Hubbard and Gregoire drop the gloves. Hubbard's throwing some rights and an uppercut. Gregoire trying to get in there, ends up going down. Hubbard walks away.
So there's something to look forward to. Scammon gets a quick shot. And now we're going to grab partners and go about this sort of Brahmamania as Alexander Richard has Scanlon in a headlock. Scanlon's dropped the gloves. Here we go. Right hand. The Worcester Wonder throwing rights, now taking him to the ice. Tyson Scanlon. Calculate something for me. Strange that he keeps one in his backpack. I don't know what that's about. Got another fight here. Evans going with a takedown on Vinichinque. And Vinichinque still working the left hook in there.
Well, the fans that have stuck it out or seen some fisticuffs.
Genovese and Vertil match it up on the dot. 50-50 draw. Punched over to the far boards. We're going to have a battle here. Who's this? Griffin and Nico Pascal.
Yep.
I haven't seen Griffin in one this year. This will be his first. A big size advantage for Pascal. And those two are throwing bombs at one another. They're both throwing
good shots in.
And they both landed some shots. Now Griffin comes back with a right, trying to get the helmet off Pascal. And down to the ice they go.
That's a good tilt right there.
Head off the stick of Ronnie Hill. He and Charasco into the end wall after it. Those two go to the ice and look out. They come after one of the tomahawks. Now Stewart gets tied up. And who's he involved with? And he gets tackled. I'm not even sure what happened there, what led to all that.
Tomahawk's got to be careful here. We're going to go at it again.
I'm not even sure who that is.
This is going to be Stewart. I'm not sure who it is for New Hampshire.
And they fall to the ice quickly.
This game getting...
it was Hill and Charas who went into the boards. I didn't really see anything.
Wouldn't settle down for him. Engel taken down, and that's going to do it for the power. They're going to send them both, and now a fight. Esterbrook's going at it there with Engel. Both of them landing some big rights. Engel just got popped. And I don't think Esterbrook doesn't even have that right hand free. And down goes Esterbrook.
Off the boards. And Larson will make the stop. Motto is dropping the gloves with Ben Cameron. They're going at it. Motto's got him in a lock. Cameron's going after him, and Motto takes him down. How about that for a brawl for the last home game here at the Ponds this season?
Sends this to Zarikov, trying to drive in as Schrott gets tied up there with Menzel. And they're going to go at it. Schrott and Menzel now throwing gloves. Schrott and Menzel right above the face-off circle as they're still going at it, throwing haymakers. Menzel going at it. Schrott gets a couple in there. Schrott gets the jersey over for a second. as the linesmen come over and break it up, and we'll have some penalties here after that.
Homestand?
Yeah, see if he's
next homestand.
going the college route or getting into construction is off the,
Oh, here we go.
The face-off. We have a fight. Cole Ferraner and Ryan Mateau are going to face off at center ice. Saturday matinee, both throwing bombs. A couple rights as Ferraner throws a huge right on Mateau, taking him down.
Oh, blocker save. And we're going to have a little scrap go on here.
Minnesota Wilderness, who was acquired early in the season from Minnesota. And now Davin Nichols and J.J. Francischetti. Nichols, a couple of rights. Francischetti laying some in as well. Nichols tangled up. Francischetti trying to remove his helmet. Nichols hits the helmet. They're in a grapple, neither of them with a good angles. They are almost shoulder to shoulder, a little bit of a size difference. Nichols with a bit of a height advantage. Francischetti lands one. Trying to rip the arm down. Nichols gets a couple on the back of the head, collides with the forehead of Francischetti. Francischetti trying to jut Nichols to the ice. They'll settle down. And you had to see that one coming.
Off the stick of Thornton into the corner. 15-15 remaining. It's Arrington there, and Danfuse are going to go, and here we go! Arrington and Danfuse. Danfuse are right. Arrington are right. Danfuse and Arrington are swinging rights. Arrington takes down Danfuse.
Back in. Takes a weird bounce off the boards there. A meeting of the minds back there from Dueling and younger Dueling and Markarian.
Making of a Gravina sandwich.
Yeah, and it looks like Keene Dueling is trying to go with, and there we go. Here we go, Keene Dueling and Gravina. Keel Dueling getting it down, makes it quick work of Michael Gravina as they're just tossing at each other, wrapping around. That was a quick one. And there you go.
Goaltender Jason Kai. Play underway. Here we go. Rayberger and Peterson squaring off. A right by Peterson, a right by Rayberger. Rayberger with another right, a right by Peterson. Down goes Rayberger, and the linesmen step in.
In the North American Hockey League. Faces off with Piella, and right off the draw, we got some mitts. Sam Crane throwing some right-handers right off the face-off, and we got ourselves a little action in this one.
Whoa, Brown Bears?
Brown Bears.
Wow, that's...
Oh, here we go.
There we go. So Christian and Grills are going to line up. Oh, Christian with that overhand right. Christian landing a couple.
Wow.
Grills getting his grill beat in. And Christian with another forearm shiver as the two of them go down. So I think Grills was the one that actually hit Gunderson. I told you there was going to be some fireworks because of that. And Grills got, he's
coming in, looking for that insurance goal, and Talacro getting in, throwing a little bit of snow on the Amarillo goalie. Ogle and Talacro going at it. Now Talacro getting involved. Hegarty coming in there. Talacro's helmet gets knocked off. Now Talacro going back for him. Going back for Ogle. Grabbing him, despite two officials getting right hands in with his gloves. 3, 4, 5, 6. Talacro's free. 7. As Maddox Talacro is not happy.
Puck
locks in on Valiulan. Here potentially is a chance. Centering pass right in front. Save made, and now we're gonna get multiple penalties now. So this, well, they're playing the power play. Prelude there. Definitely the first penalty is definitely going against Chippewa. When it's all sorted out, I'm not sure that this will necessarily be a. I'm not sure this. I don't know that this will necessarily be a. I don't know that this will necessarily be a power play for the Junior Blues when all is said and done. Mason Benedict doing some work there against Djokovic.
The other way, here comes the Wilderness onside. And that's going to draw a crowd right there. We may see a line brawl here. That's Brody Olson. Took offense to it first. Minsky out there, Hewers out there. As soon as that happened, you knew this was going to happen.
Steered aside. Again, you instinctively want to say the opposite. That's a blocker on his left hand. And now we're going to go. Bovey, just inside the blue line, ducks a couple of shots. He ties up with Sergat. Then he lands a right. Couple of lefts by Sergat. Bovey lands a clean right and another. They swing away. Looks like the officials. Sergat loses his bucket and a couple rights right on the button. Bovey loses his helmet. An uppercut by Sergat. They're still going. Bovey's not done. And finally, they're taken down to the ice by the linesman.
Rochester's own. McGuire hustling after this puck. Corbear jab at it at the side of the net. Wade gets all turned around as the puck goes up into the safety netting out of play. And now we got a fight. Corbear's first in the North American Hockey League. Throwing heavy rights there against Mike Murray-Canerva. And the two will go down to the ice, and Corbear, a good-looking scrap there. He is a heavy boy at 6'2", 205. And
moving it on ahead. Oh, and we have a fight here. Roenick and Hager. Roenick starts throwing rights. Oh, and Roenick takes him down immediately.
Oh, there's a cross check in the back from Utenens, and that's 2 minutes for you can't do that. And now Ray and McKenna want to go at it, and everybody's looking to settle some old scores all of a sudden. Just a reminder that these two teams play each other again tomorrow. Ray and Lobenwein still entangled.
Oh, here comes Matviev.
Utenens is escorted to the sin bin. Bjornsson is given a bit of a stinky glove to
here we go!
McIntosh. And here comes Drake Owens out of the cage to battle with Kluth at center ice. They touch gloves, and now they are going to have a showdown. It's prime time here on Saturday night. Owens with 3 rights. He's got the left on McLuth. He feeds him with 2 more. The two of them tangle up, and Owens gets on top of McLuth at the center dot.
And Drake Owens comes.
It is an Ice Ray face-off win. Jobber gone off. Oh, we have a whistle. We go in a fight. Dominic Kish going, throwing a couple of right hooks. Anderson, oh, and he flattened Kish. Interesting.
The score remains here. And some rough stuff now in the neutral zone. And we've got a fight here. Marshall going at it with Hart that's Tarleton. Marshall and Tarleton getting after it here. Tarleton 6'2", 205. Marshall.
In for the puck. Going to be won by the Ice Wolves. And now we've got a fifth fight on the far side. Play will be stopped. We've got hands being thrown over there. Shea Berry controlling that fight early. Now the officials will jump in.
And that actually sends Rochester the other way. Gianta tried to chip it and gets hit up high, penalty. And this might draw a crowd. Gianta, as Delaney's takes off, and here we go. Biedorf's gonna drop the gloves. He's going at it with Murray Canerva, the Aviator captain. Biedorf and Canerva at center ice. It's a full-on brawl here after Gianta was taken down. Canerva trying to throw some uppercuts. Biedorf getting the top. Johnson never got the gloves off. Biedorf and Canerva looks to be settling down. Dewberry trying to go after Delaney. Gianta's A-okay. Noteworthy, because that was why the Junior Americans were upset.
Flaring.
Yeah, Connor Griffin right in the middle of it.
Involved here. The linesmen doing the best they can to keep them separated. And Stauber throwing punches right now at Connor Griffin. He has lost it right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Connor Griffin just got a shot in on Stauber between the linesmen. And took a shot. Great goal by Nick Jarmaine, though. Popped it up on top of the goal, far side.
Afflin shot, that goes above the net. Madsen able to keep that one in. He sends it down low. Dub Eunice and McPartland, it looks like. Or never mind, it's Kaylin Ray. I'm not sure what led into that one. Good little rights by Eunice, and now followed up by Ray. They both have each other's arms tied up. Eunice gets one free. Hard rights by Ray knocks Eunice's helmet off. And then a tackle by Eunice. So that'll be a 5 and a 10 for...
To get in on side. Shot attempt there, they score. Jets didn't play that one very well. That was Kevin Leischer. Now it's Hewer. After somebody down there.
On it. Oh, we might have gotten caught right there, and now we got to fight Eddie Revennick.
Okay.
This final regular season junior game, they're going to go to center with Owen Dawson. Yeah, they faked the helmet there. You see that? Tried to draw the extra. And Revennick going to town. Dawson lands a right as, Dawson, a big right hand. They get back up. There's a spirited tilt right here as Revennick trying to wrestle his man down to the ice, and they go tumbling down.
Pierman in front, and that is off the pipe. That almost found its way in. Nico Russ looking to go, and look behind the play, tumbling down. The officials' hands go up. Play pauses as tempers boil over.
Roughing. As this bounces back up and out of the zone. Lanza will hop onto this one as we're going to get a whistle. Behind the play, a fight going on. Hanscom going after it there with Burke, and they take him down. Hanscom as Lanza and Dabrowski go at it in the corner. Dabrowski went right after Lanza as they go down in a heap with a lineman right there. They're still going at it, Dabrowski. Into a wrestling match with Lanza as he takes him down. Dabrowski went right after as hands come.
So Ben Dempster trying to outmuscle Daniel Johnson. That's not going to work. Back the other way comes Maryland. A 3-on-2 if they hurry. Here's Smith. Holds off. Or no, there's a fight. Daniel Johnson. Boom!
Lost his stick. And now we got another shot on Freeman, and he's down, clutching his leg. Here we go. Anderson has dropped the gloves, and he's in one with Bjornsson, getting two lefts in on Bjornsson. Bjornsson's lost his helmet. Anderson with a series of rights. In the skating on the right side, Burke. And we got a fight now with Caleb Kim. And Aiden Lawson and Caleb Kim with a series of rights. A number of shots on Lawson. And he's trying to get the jersey over his head to completely lock him up. And they got the guys all tangled there to pull him apart. So they're just calling that even up, and now we got more. Boy, these guys are just ready to pair up. We got Luger and Frauner. These guys are going to go at it. Luger got a series of blows there. Frauner's coming back. Luger, he continues to fire at him. They're both going at it. Both a series of rights. Now Luger trying to get his arm wrapped around him, and they go down. Cole Frauner has been known around the league for the last couple of years.
He's bumped down. Now he's got Davis in a headlock. Played into the slot now by the Bruins. Paddington now just slashes the stick out of the hands of Davis. And now Paddington's dropped the gloves, and we've got a tilt. With 6:28 to go in the second period, Ben Davis and E.J. Paddington. And Davis, much smaller than Paddington, but staying very much in this fight. Couple of good rights from Davis, and he's dropped Paddington to the ice.
Dean's going to his left. The puck was rolling the opposite direction. And now Carlson walks up. His shot blocked down. Dropping to a knee was Duncan. Manages to knock that one out to center. Lost his stick in the process. Gloss all the way up to Fournette. Fournette into the zone. High slot. Shot through traffic. He scores! The Maryland Blackbirds are your Robertson Cup champions!